Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Take 5 Challenge podcast. I am Henry Perez Alonso, and I am so excited to just connect with other professionals in our field and really get a chance to model what a Take 5 Challenge is. Really, back in 2018, I asked a membership of Parks and Rec professionals at California Parks and Rec Society to take 5 minutes a month to intentionally connect with another professional. Because I truly believe that we make each other better and we build our professional circle even more when we connect and we truly just take the time with someone. So just as much time as you can spend scrolling, I challenge you to take 5 minutes a month just to connect with someone else at some point. So today I actually have a show. I'm so excited to actually talk to this lady because it's been a lot of years to get a sit down with her. But Kristine Stratton from the National Recreation and Park Association will be coming up shortly. So coming back soon with me and Kristine. And we're back, and thanks for being with us and being with me today. I'm very excited about the next guest, someone I get to connect with right now on our little Take 5. Kristine Stratton from NRPA. Just so excited to have you here, and maybe if you don't mind, just tell people who you actually are. Because to me, you're like a rock star, but I just want to make sure.
You're funny. Well, so Kristine Stratton, President and CEO of the National Recreation and Park Association, or NRPA. And I'm coming up on my 6th anniversary in the role. Very excited about that.
I love that. I love this opportunity. First and foremost, thank you for the time, because I know that for me, talking to other leaders it just inspires me and stuff like that. And I really wanted to, if I can get her, then I got you. So I want to know just everything first, but I know we don't have that much time. Yeah. But really looking at your leadership. So you have 6 years now with a national organization.
Yes.
How's it been?
Yeah, well, it's been interesting. 9 months into the role, we had the pandemic, started the pandemic. And I think what that did for me is really emphasize the critical importance of being adaptable and meeting members where they are. So instead of focusing on place-based activities, which is our bread and butter, our schools and our conference, of course, we went online. We really leveraged our networks. That's something that stands out for me as a winning element to CPRS, is the fact that all of the networks through the districts and the regions, all of the layers that CPRS, from your leadership through to current leadership, of course with Stephanie Stevens, bring people together. So for me, making sure that as the national organization, we're really deeply partnered with all of the state associations and strengthening that connective tissue in our profession from community to community all across the country.
That's interesting. And one of the things, like, how do you make, and I'm like, man, because you're national, how do you make it feel smaller? Is there anything that you can do to do that? I mean, I know you come and visit us at the different states, and that's awesome, but is that a chore, or can it even be done?
What makes it feel smaller is the personal connection. So for instance, I was just chatting with one of your fellow Californians who came to NRPA's director school in Cincinnati recently. And the huge takeaway that I hear time and time again, when people come to, let's say, a CPRS Connections conference, or they go to one of the schools, when we take time to get to know each other on a personal level, that's what makes it feel smaller. We have a field, it's 170,000, actually more than 170,000 full-time park and rec professionals working all across the country. Think about that for just a second. Let that sink in. 170,000. So it's a big community, right? But all of those folks are connected to each other, one person at a time. Like when we first met, we bonded over my experience with your community biking.
Yes.
So like just that little thing, that little nugget, I have carried forward. So when I see you, you're not this person that I don't know. You're somebody that I feel like I've connected with.
Well, I did too, but I think also one of the things is the fact that you're also open to that connection, because folks in certain leadership positions, we get intimidated by that, right? Especially when you're, that's the CEO and president of the national. You're like, ooh, can you even go up and talk to them? And I know that was one of the things that we at CPRS, at least through some of the leadership I had, we wanted to break those barriers, right? To 100%. Actually try and get that small. And So one, I just appreciate the fact that you were even open
thanks.
to, like, you know, you didn't snub me or anything like that. So I think
Oh,
that's
of
the cool
course
part.
not.
So I thought that was a cool thing.
Yeah.
One of the things I do always ask leaders, especially those that I would say are at the top, right? I recognize that it's lonely at the top. And some days it's just like, you know, when I talk to, I think I'm growing one of my CATS staff members right now, and they're like, no one even cares what we're doing. I go, no, they don't. And it's tough. But
Yeah.
So how do you say combat that loneliness? Do you have your people?
Yes, I do. Yes. Thank you, Henry, for raising that, because, you know, I think looking at Parks and Recreation, right, it is lonely. It's a people facing profession, whether you're in maintenance or in planning, you know, and everything in between, right? You are people facing, and yet a lot of folks don't see you as a human being and don't want to relate to you in that way. So figuring out how to resource ourselves is really, really important. So for you and your team, making sure that folks have their person. It could be a colleague, it could be just a friend that is, you know, you phone a friend when you really need it. For me, what I have found is really important to not feel so alone, is to cultivate what have you heard of this term, kitchen cabinet?
Yes. Yeah.
So I've got my kitchen cabinet of folks that are in my role, but in other organizations, and the ability to connect with them. So I have scheduled quarterly calls, and we just get on a Zoom or Teams chat. Rarely, but when we're in the same geography, we get together in person. Having that safe space to just be real and to say, oh my gosh, it's really tough right now.
It is, and that's, I think, the biggest thing is, like, we do need that outlet. We do need that kitchen cabinet for all of us to be able to just blah. I mean, I know I need it, and I know that you know, my staff wouldn't necessarily understand what I'm going through. They will one day, and I can only prep them so much. But it's like one day you'll see when you sit in the seat. But in the meantime, I have to go and, you know, call my people. You know, where's my squad? What's going on?
Exactly.
And checking those and trust those, and I think that's. I'm so glad that you have that, because that every time I know that there's a new, let's say a new director or something, I'll say, hey, if you ever need anything, it's lonely at the top. You can always give me a call.
Like and it's great to do that, but I find that getting over that hump and actually setting up the call when you're able to, because obviously it's a big state. There's lots of leaders in the state and lots of professionals. It's hard to really to do that, but breaking through that barrier, you're like, hey, do you have 5 minutes?
Can you take 5? And that's really where the Take 5 program came from, was to have that moment, to have those moments with people, to intentionally actually reach out, intentionally take that time, and then, because at the end of the day, we make each other better. We sharpen each other. As iron sharpens iron, we make each other better. And that's what I see, and that's, you know, even just this moment, just knowing, and partly knowing that you're real, right? That you're authentic, and you really go through those same things too. That means a lot to me, because, like, look. Thanks. It is. We all go through that stuff, and we do. You know, we're not the only one, and, you know. Then it also challenges me to say, okay, are you good? You know, and trying to make sure that, you know, things are well for you as well, and that is the, for me, the basis of relationships, right? And as you build and connect with people, and I think that's kind of a cool thing.
I had a moment with Stephanie shortly after, well, I mean, in the midst really of the fires in Los Angeles County. Just reaching out to say, hey, what can we do to help? And having a moment of feeling really powerless, right? And in the face of this massive disaster, but knowing, you know, human to human, that we deeply care. What can we do practically to show up? What tiny little thing could make a difference? Having that touch point, for me, made me feel like at least there was this link, right? That
so we're links. I love that.
We're links in it, you know, we're links in the chain, making everything stronger.
I love that. I really do appreciate your time and just kind of you hanging out with me at this moment too.
Of course.
If someone wanted to get a hold of you, if you were going to let them get a hold of you, where can they reach you?
So leadership at NRPA.org is probably the easiest one to remember. Leadership at NRPA.org. That is an email address that goes straight to our customer service person. and they route that straight to me. So, and then, yeah, that's, if you want to get in touch with the NRPA board, with myself, with the leadership team, that's probably the easiest way.
And I do have one final question for you. As you know, this is the Take 5 Challenge. So I'm wondering, can I count you in as taking the challenge if we could set you up from time to time with maybe someone just for 5 minutes, or even if it's me?
Yeah, I would love it. Yes, right. Of course.
The challenge is on, though. I really do
challenge
appreciate
accepted.
I love that. We'll be right back with my final thoughts. Thank you so much, Kristine, for being here. I appreciate that. We'll be back. Welcome back. Just got finished talking with Kristine Stratton from NRPA, and I got to tell you, inspired is a word. Connected is a word. I don't know. It's like, it was really kind of fun to just talk to her for the moment and recognize that there are leaders out there that care. There are leaders out there that care of themselves and take care of herself. I love the fact that she's got a kitchen cabinet, which reminds me that all of us should have those people that surround us that we can really trust and work with and just be real with, so that we can refill our own juices, per se. And the fact that, you know, they really do make an effort at a national level to make things feel smaller and us feel connected, and through that connection. And I think her being open to it is one of the things that kind of inspired me as well. And I do look to leaders like Kristine to make myself a little bit better. And I hope that for me, I start thinking about how to make it smaller here, and really truly beyond, I guess, this podcast and our program is really to kind of look at what's going on and what efforts am I making to connect more with people. So I'm glad to see that it's happening there. As always, you can get a hold of us here through the Push to Play network with CPRS, and I'm just so thankful for them. You can slide into my Instagram direct message DMs if you like, and that is the Take 5, the number 5 _ challenge. Shoot me a message. Let me know if there's someone else you want me to have a chat with, or if you have a topic that you need us to kind of cover, whoever it may be, even if it's not with you. But thanks, and we'll see you next time on Take 5.